I finished reading 5 books this month, and I've been noticing this pattern in my previous months as well, that I am reading a lot of different type of books. Like, I used to only read romance before, but as I'm growing, and I don't know, my attention has been through a lot of different places. I have started to like give chance to books other than romance, and I've been loving that. Like, I've started to read more thrillers, I've started to enjoy reading more literary fictions, which was not me at all, but I've been finding such great joy when I read literary fictions. So you might see more of these kind of wrap ups, and maybe a very good literary fiction recommendation video very soon on my page, which is something very new and something I never thought of. But I think this is what a joy of being a reader feels like, when you explore different genres and feel so good. So, without any more yapping, let's get to the books. First one is The Kings of Kearny by Nevessa Allen, and this was a dark romance. And my dark romance journey has not been very kind. Like, I read Haunting Adeline because of all the hype, but I didn't like it enough. I loved the thriller part of it, but not the romance aspects. But when I read this book and when I got this book, I was so obsessed, and I'm still so obsessed. Like, even when I look at the book, I feel so good. It's a story about Krista, who's a bartender at this restaurant, and she has this physical connection and attraction with this guy who's very hot and is part of the mafia gang. And somehow one day they find this common conversation, and she ends up going to his house, and they have a one night stand. But something happens, and now they are attached to the hip, and they have to go through a lot of things: drama, politics, mafia gang, wala thing. And it's just so fun because they're attracted. They also kind of hate each other's guts. Like, there's a lot of banters, and it's very fun. And then lots of drama as well, and politics and suspense. So it's such a great journey reading this book. Second book I read is Days with My Red Flag Girlfriend, and I didn't really like this book enough because it was very weird. Like, it started well, I liked it, but in the ending it started getting very insecure, like the characters, especially the male character. And then it was very, very toxic, and I felt like, what exactly is happening? And I felt this is so modern dating coded. Like, these days you cannot trust anyone, neither men, neither women, when it comes to dating. There's lots of cheating involved, lots of insecurity involved, and it also talks about how social media actually plays a role in relationship these days. So I just kind of didn't like it, but it also gave me like a reality check. Next book is Not Safe for Work by Radhika Agarwal, and this is one of my favorite Indian romance books now. I loved reading this one. It's my first Radhika book, and I loved it so much that I had to go to the book signing event of this book. I'll attach the images here somewhere. It was such a great journey. She's so, so, so sweet. And the way I loved this book, I immediately ordered her first book, which is Red Flags and Rishtas, and I can't wait to read that as well. And about the book, it's about this girl who gets this intern in her office, and he's not even like a teenager intern, he's like a good age intern, and she's like confused that how come you are an intern. And they have this conversation, they have lots of drama and fun because she kind of hates his guts. So there's like banters, enemies to lovers kind of a situation at a workplace, and he makes fun of her, she makes fun of him, and then they fall in love as expected. And it is so Iktara song coded, and it is so wake up set coded, and also the hating game coded. And actually the author says that it's the hating game meets wake up set, so you just get the aesthetics of the book. And I loved reading this so much, especially someone who loves wake up set movie. I loved this book so much. So it was like a great journey reading this book. I read it in one sitting, and I'm literally forcing, I'm not even telling you guys, I'm forcing you guys at this point to read this book. I read Heart the Lover, which was a literary fiction, and I fell in love with this book so hard. I was gasping and crying while reading this book, and it was so well written. It's about this girl who was in a love triangle when she was in her early stages, which she never really forgot or moved on from. She's talking about this entire journey and how it actually is now affecting and is again part of her current life. And I am asking you to read it too because you'll love it so much. The last book I read this month was The Wife Upstairs, and I picked it up because I was in a reading slump, and whenever I am in a reading slump, I always pick up a thriller. I don't know why. And my experience with Frida McFadden is not really so good, because whatever books I've read of her still far, so far, I mean, is not really good. So again, I didn't want to pick it up, but still I didn't have any other option. And something about Frida McFadden's writing is so addictive, even though it's predictable for me always, and the plot is very predictable, but somehow it still sticks with me. So I wanted to pick this up. And it was low-key disappointing because it was very, very similar to Verity, like exactly similar. Like the only difference was Verity's an open ending, and this was like a close ending. Like we kind of knew who was the reason behind everything. So yeah, but somehow it still helped me come out of the reading slump. So I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, these were all the books I read this month. In August, I'm still reading Yours Truly, which is such a great book, and I'll talk about it very soon in another video. But this is all about July, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next or other videos. If you were here for the first time and you stayed till the end, I'm so happy. I do hope you subscribe or maybe watch other videos of mine. I'll see you guys in the next video.